Our planet, a familiar sphere of blue and green, holds secrets in its most distant corners. We have mapped its surfaces, named its oceans, and charted its skies. Yet there remain places that defy our modern sense of connection. These are the last redoubts of isolation, islands of solitude cradled by immense oceans buried deep within continental wilds. These are not mere dots on a map. They are living, breathing ecosystems and communities evolved in profound seclusion. Prepare to witness the astonishing resilience of life, both human and animal, in environments that push the very limits of survival. Our journey begins in the vast, unbroken wilderness of the South Atlantic Ocean. Here, adrift between continents, lies an outpost of humanity so remote it seems almost mythical. Tristan da Cunha, the most isolated inhabited archipelago on Earth. Born from the violent fury of a volcanic hotspot, its central peak rises dramatically from the waves. Nearest mainland, South Africa, 2,800 kilometers. The island's very existence is a geological marvel. A shield volcano, softened by lush vegetation and scarred by deep ravines known as gulches. Queen Mary's Peak rises above the settlement, 2,000 meters high. The tiny settlement, fewer than 300 souls, Edinburgh of the Seven Seas, huddles on a sliver of flat land. Life here is governed by the sea. It is both provider and gatekeeper. The islanders are masters of these formidable waters. Their unique longboats, expertly navigated through kelp-strewn shallows, are the lifeblood of the community. Fishermen head out to the rich lobster grounds that sustain their economy. There is no airport, there is no tourist resort, there is no harbour for large vessels. Access is solely by sea, a voyage of at least a week. To arrive at Tristan da Cunha is to step back in time, a place where history is written on the landscape and the future depends on community and the sea. If Tristan da Cunha is the most remote inhabited place, our next destination is its spectral counterpart, the most remote uninhabited island on the planet. We journey further south, deeper into the furious 50s latitudes, to a place of almost absolute desolation. This is Bouvet Island, a phantom in the Southern Ocean. A Norwegian territory, it is little more than the exposed peak of a massive stratovolcano. Over 93% of Bouvet's surface is entombed beneath a permanent ice cap. Landing here is an enterprise of extreme difficulty. The island's discovery itself is a tale of cartographic confusion. Sighted in 1739 by the French explorer Jean-Baptiste Charles Bouvet de Lozier, its position was recorded inaccurately. It was lost to the world for over 60 years. It wasn't until 1808 that it was definitively rediscovered. It is not a destination, but a presence, preserving an ecosystem untouched by direct human influence. Bouvet Island thus remains a scientific frontier, a natural laboratory for studying extreme weather, a silent frozen monument to the vast empty spaces that still dominate our planet's surface. Far south, in the furious latitudes of the Indian Ocean, lies an archipelago so remote, so utterly cut off from the continental landmasses, that early sailors christened it the Desolation Islands. Today, we know them as the Kerguelen Islands, a French territory larger than Corsica, yet home to fewer than 100 souls. The journey here is an odyssey in itself. There are no tourist flights, no holiday resorts, no welcoming ports for passing yachts. The landscape that eventually emerges from the mists is one of raw, monochromatic beauty. Vast glacier-carved valleys, all dwarfed by the immense ice cap of the Cook Glacier. The islands lie directly in the path of the furious 50s, a belt of ferocious westerly winds. Despite the harsh conditions, life has found a way to endure and indeed to flourish. The islands also host a number of species found nowhere else on Earth. The ghosts of the sealing era still linger, somber monuments to a time of reckless exploitation. Today, the only human presence is centered around the main scientific base, Port-au-Français. Their work is a quiet, patient pursuit of knowledge, a world apart. In the vast blue emptiness of the South Pacific, more than 1,000 miles from any continent, lies a tiny volcanic outcrop, the Pitcairn Islands. This is a British overseas territory forever linked to the mutiny on the HMS Bounty in 1789. Fletcher Christian, his fellow mutineers, their Tahitian companions, sought refuge here, remote and uninhabited, defended by sheer volcanic cliffs. All access is via longboats from a visiting supply ship, a delicate operation that depends on the mood of the sea. The island's tiny population, fewer than 50 residents, are mostly descendants of the mutineers. The local dialect blends 18th century English and Tahitian surnames like Christian Young Warren. Life on Pitcairn is governed by the arrival of the supply vessel. The ship brings fuel, flour, mail, medical supplies. Everyone performs multiple roles: police officer, postmaster, tour guide. This shared responsibility fosters a powerful sense of community. Reaching the edge offers a breathtaking 360-degree panorama stand where the mutineers surely stood. For the adventurous traveler, reaching Pitcairn requires a flight to French Polynesia, followed by a multi-day journey on the supply and passenger vessel. The reward is immersion into a living piece of history. Off the Horn of Africa, adrift in the Arabian Sea, lies an island that seems plucked from another world. Separated from the mainland for millions of years, evolution took a strange and wonderful path. A landscape of surreal biodiversity. Dragon's blood tree, umbrella-shaped canopy. It bleeds deep red resin, dragon's blood, sought since antiquity for use as a dye, an incense, a medicine. Alongside them, the bottle tree appears almost cartoonish, designed to store water for dry seasons. Desert meets coast, distinct microclimates allowing a staggering variety of life within a small area. The people of Socotra are as unique as its flora and fauna: deep ancestral knowledge, medicinal plants, and livestock movement. Political instability and mainland conflict create immense challenges. Access has become severely restricted. Conservation on Socotra is a matter of global concern, but protecting it is complex. To witness Socotra is to feel profound wonder. Preserving such a place is about protecting rare species and our planet's imagination. Here in the northern reaches of Ethiopia lies a landscape so utterly alien it feels as though we have journeyed to another world. This is the Danakil Depression, a geological marvel that sits at the junction of three tectonic plates, pulling the very crust of our planet apart. It is one of the lowest, driest, hottest places on Earth. The ground itself seems to breathe, a palette made by chemistry, not life. To enter this cauldron is to accept immense risk, preparation, and expert guidance required. The Afar people, who have lived here for centuries, possess the knowledge to survive. For generations, the lifeblood here has been salt. Caravans, sometimes hundreds long, begin the days-long trek to markets in the highlands. But this way of life is on a precipice. New roads and modern transport threaten to make it obsolete. The Danakil is, in essence, an ocean in the making. As Africa slowly splits, this sunken land will one day be flooded by the Red Sea. A tension between tradition and progress plays out in brutal, unparalleled beauty. Deep in the heart of Siberia, nestled within a remote valley, lies the village of Oymyakon. This is no ordinary settlement. It is widely regarded as the coldest permanently inhabited place on Earth. Temperatures regularly plummet to -50 degrees Celsius, and the record, an astonishing -71.2 degrees Celsius. A thick, icy fog hangs perpetually. The sun, a distant pale disk, houses are built on piles, triple glazed windows. Necessities, vehicles, it must be kept running continuously. Life is a constant calculation against the cold. They are herders, hunters, ice fishermen, renowned for their hardy Yakutian horses when the long winter finally relinquishes its grip. The brief, intense summer brings a period of frantic activity. Modern technology offers new ways to combat the cold, reducing the village's profound isolation. Life in Oymyakon will always be a dialogue with the cold, finding warmth and community in the coldest place on Earth. High in the Peruvian Andes, at an altitude of over 5,100 meters, lies the settlement of La Rinconada. This is the highest permanent human settlement on Earth, where the air is thin and life is a constant struggle. The city clings to the side of a glacier, a testament to the powerful allure of gold. There is no running water, no sanitation system, and limited electricity. They are miners who work in treacherous, unregulated tunnels. The work is incredibly dangerous. Under a system known as cachorreo, miners work for 30 days without pay. On the 31st day, they are allowed to carry out as much rock as they can. Whether that rock contains any gold is purely a matter of luck. It is a lottery, where the stakes are their health, the miners breathing air filled with silica dust and toxic gases like mercury, suffer severe respiratory and neurological illnesses. The unregulated mining has scarred the mountain. Mercury contaminates the soil and the water. Despite the immense hardships, a community endures, a semblance of normality in this most abnormal of places. It is a city of contradictions, of breathtaking beauty and devastating squalor, of desperate hope and crushing reality. It forces us to ask difficult questions about the true cost of the gold we value. Here, at the very roof of the world, lies a land of profound and silent majesty, Ellesmere Island. This is a realm defined not by what is present, but by what is absent. Vast glaciers, some the size of small countries. In this polar desert, precipitation is so scarce it rivals the Sahara, yet water in frozen form defines the landscape. The sun disappears completely for months. Yet when the light returns, it reveals stark, breathtaking beauty. Beyond these outposts, isolated research stations stand as sentinels of science. They listen to the planet's secrets, deciphering clues from the ice, the air, and the rocks. Against this backdrop, iconic Arctic inhabitants make their stand. Their presence reminds us of the delicate balance of this ecosystem. Deep within the heart of the world's coldest, driest, highest continent lies an environment so alien, so utterly devoid of the familiar hallmarks of life that it seems to belong to another planet. These are the McMurdo dry valleys of Antarctica. Powerful katabatic winds can exceed 300 kilometers per hour, evaporating moisture scouring valley floors. Considered the closest terrestrial analog to Mars, a natural laboratory for planetary science. Not entirely lifeless. Life is hidden, microscopic, and incredibly resilient. Beneath rock surfaces, the dry valley's starkness is broken by permanently frozen lakes, water far saltier than the ocean, and one of Antarctica's most enigmatic sights, Blood Falls. Crimson brine seeps from the ice, rich in iron. Oxygen-free water oxidizes when exposed. It rusts, producing the blood-red color. Blood Falls water carries microbes surviving without light or oxygen. Powered by chemistry, not sunlight. Access is extremely limited and strictly controlled. Precautions prevent contamination. Here, in the vast, seemingly unending expanse of the Sahara, a colossal fortress of rock and fire pierces the sky. These peaks create their own world. Canyons reveal hidden pockets of life. The highest peak, Emi Kusi, a panorama of craters, lava flows, and jagged spires that stretch to the horizon. The silence is absolute, broken only by the whisper of the wind. The Tubu navigate the treacherous terrain with an expertise born of generations, etched and painted. Thousands of images, evidence of a time when this arid desert was a lush, green savanna teeming with life. These images are a fragile, invaluable library of human and natural history. Political instability in the region can often render the area inaccessible. Those few who do make the journey are rewarded with an experience of unparalleled solitude and discovery. High on the Tibetan plateau, in the immense shadow of the world's tallest mountain, lies a place of profound spiritual significance and extreme physical reality. This is the Rongbuk Monastery, perched at an altitude of nearly 17,000 feet, one of the highest monastic settlements on earth. The air is thin, achingly cold. For the monks and nuns, this is not a place of hardship, but one of spiritual clarity. Their days are spent in prayer, meditation, the performance of ancient rituals, their chants carried on the wind from the glaciers of Mount Everest. It was from here that the early British expedition launched their pioneering attempts in the 1920s, the North Face, presenting a challenge that has tested human endurance for over a century. Local communities and mountaineers stop at the monastery for a blessing before venturing toward advanced base camps. It forces living in the present moment, focusing on breathing, appreciating the warmth of the sun. Rongbuk Monastery stands as a lonely sentinel, forever gazing up at the sacred, silent mother of the world. From the volcanic heart of the Sahara to the sacred heights of the Himalayas, our journey has taken us to the very edges of the map, to places that defy belief. We have witnessed the incredible tenacity of life, both human and wild, in environments of unimaginable extremity. These remote locations, scattered across the globe like forgotten jewels, remind us that our planet still holds deep mysteries and profound secrets. This pull towards the wild and the unknown is not about conquering nature, but about finding our place within it. They are a testament to the enduring power of geology, climate, and evolution, and to the remarkable adaptability of the human spirit. They are a call to adventure, a whisper on the wind that speaks of landscapes yet to be seen and stories yet to be told. They remind us that there is still so much to discover, so much to protect, and so much to marvel at. The map of our world is far from complete. Its blank spaces filled with untold beauty and adventure. The only question that remains is, where will your next hidden gem be?